Can Braswell, Carmel, Rosemont, and Cy-Fair repeat? Will there actually be a Louisville regional? And who will be the first Central Texas regional champion? We preview 5 Bands of America regional championships as General Effect Media presents This Weekend in Band. Welcome to This Weekend in Band, the show where we take a look at competitions that are upcoming this weekend in band. I'm Daniel Montoya Jr. for General Effect Media. Now, before we get to the 5 regional championships taking place this weekend, one of them being a brand new regional and one of them more than likely being impacted by a hurricane, if at any point you like this video, please give us a thumbs up so we know that you like what's going on. And if you like what we are doing here at General Effect Media, please subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so you know when we release a new video here at GEM. And if it so moves you, whether you agree or disagree or just want to put your thoughts out into internet, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. And hey, if you're hate watching or love watching, why don't you share the video for your fellow band fans, members, friends, supporters, parents, directors, designers, all of that stuff. All engagement is good engagement. We really appreciate it. So let's start off with the Odessa Regional Championship. Now, this show took place last year on September 30th, so about the same time. However, it took place in Midland, Texas. And if you know anything about the state of Texas, Midland and Odessa are synonymous just as much as Dallas and Fort Worth, with less people and less buildings. Now, as we take a look at this regional and we look at the 12 finalists from last year, 6 are not returning this year. So we consider that to be 6 open spots for finals. Now, we're not automatically assuming last year's finalists will make finals this year, but more often than not, you can kind of like count and go like, okay, if everybody who made finals last year made finals again, there's 6 spots open. So of those groups returning, Braswell, who won the regional championship and also won the music caption and the general effect caption, is returning. Then you drop all the way down to Permian High School, who is a finalist. They're returning. Lubbock Cooper returning. Friendship is returning. Midland is returning. And Randall High School is returning. Mustang High School, who placed 2nd overall and won the visual performance caption in finals, is not returning to this particular regional. If we go into the prelims results, for Class A, Greenwood High School is not returning. Pecos High School, who just made finals at the Las Cruces Regional, will be returning. They placed 2nd. And the Texas Leadership High School, who placed 3rd, will not be returning. Now, last year, Texas Leadership won the music caption. Greenwood won visual performance and general effects. So without knowing who is in Class A or AA or AAA or quadruple A, you kind of know about 3A and 4A. This whole class is pretty much wide open for Pecos and someone else to take it. Now we get to Class AA. The champion in prelims, Loveland High School out of Colorado, is not returning. They also won the general effect caption. Randall, who got 2nd, returning. Andrews, who got 3rd, returning. Now, Randall did win the music performance caption last year, so they are on the perhaps could repeat as a medalist as well as taking a caption. But again, remains to be seen who is in competition for AA. We get to Class AAA and it's completely open as Hendrickson, Clovis, and Colleyville Heritage are not returning to this show. And then we get to Class 4A, where Mustang actually won prelims, and they took the visual caption. Braswell took 2nd, who again is returning. They took music and general effect. And then in 3rd place was Saxe High School, who is not returning. Now, as I've mentioned before, we don't give exact predictions. Sometimes we will. More often than not, we'll give you a collection of bands that we think here at GEM are going to be in competition for medals, for finals, for winning, etc. Now, in this particular regional, looking at the competition list of those bands that are currently supposed to be there, and sometimes some things happen, I think that what we're going to see is a battle between Braswell High School and Richland High School. We have 2 DFW area bands making their way to the Panhandle. I think Braswell, being a returning champion, they get to perform last in prelims. This will do well for them going into finals, and then they just have to perform the show and see where the cards lay. And Richland is a finalist. I believe Richland was very close to winning a regional last year. I can't remember which one it was. Regardless, I think this particular regional is going to come down again to Braswell and Richland High School in finals. Now we move to the Great Midwest for the Des Moines, Iowa Regional. Now, last year, this show also took place on September 30th, so we're only about 2 days away based on last year, and it will again be at Northwest High School Stadium in Waukee, Iowa. Now, of the 12 finalists from last year, only 7 are returning, so there are 5 spots for finals. Of those 7, we have Rosemont, who won and swept all captions in finals, Lincoln High School, Bellevue West, Eastview High School, Pella High School, or Peya. I would say Peya, but I'm assuming if you're in Iowa, it's Pella. Northwest High School, and is it Mock Floyd Valley or MOC Floyd Valley? Those are the finalists returning from last year in the hopes of, once again, making finals this year and possibly moving up. Now, if we go into the class awards from prelims, in Class A, Pella took first and all captions, again returning. And second was Mock Floyd Valley, who took second. And third, who is not returning this year, Independence Junior Senior High School. Moving up to AA, Camden High School, who took first and won the visual performance and general effect captions, is not returning. However, Bellevue West is returning, and they took the music caption, placing second. And Blue Valley Southwest High School, who was third, will not be returning this year. Moving up to AAA, Rosemont High School, who placed first and took all 3 captions, again, is returning. Lincoln High School returning, they got second. And Eastview High School returning, they got third. And then in Class 4A, completely wide open, as Lake Park High School, who took first, as well as the visual performance and general effect caption, is not returning, rather. Valley High School took second and also won music. And then in third was Millard South High School. They are not returning. Millard South, make sure we're clear on that. Millard South, who got third in Class 4A, is not returning. Now, admittedly, this is a regional and a region of band in the country that I am incredibly not well informed. So much so that I had to poll and converse with some people who have a little bit better grasp on the band scene in that portion of the Midwest. Someone who is from the state of Missouri, someone who follows band in that area. So of this, not really sure that I can give a 1-2 or even 1-2-3 battle. And for this one, we're going to say what the top 6 are going to be. I believe the same top groups from last year will be the same top groups this year, but then we add a little bit. So the top 6, at least in my mind, in finals will come down to Rosemont, Lincoln, Millard West, or is it Millyard West? Millyard West, Fayetteville, Eastview, and Bellevue West. So yes, some familiar bands, some familiar names from last year, and then a few. I don't know how far Arkansas is from Des Moines. If it's a long drive, good for you. You not only get the long distance award, but in our eyes, you are going to get a top half finish at the end of finals for the Iowa Regional. Now, before we move on to the Louisville Regional and the state of weather going on, if at any point you would like to support General Effect Media, you can do it one of 2 ways. Number 1, you could go to our store and support us by buying some merch. We have General Effect Media merch, we have old school General Effect the brand merch, and we have a hot new shirt coming down in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So be sure to check all of that out. After administrative fees, all that stuff, all the profits will be shared by our content creators. So we would really appreciate that way. And you can support the brand and sport it and wear it. And if you see any of us out in the wild, I'm sure we'd be happy to sign your shirt or not, depending on what you'd like. But if you would just rather give us money, we can take that at coffee, ko-fi.com, General Effect Media. You can donate as little as you'd like, as much as you'd like. Again, after all administrative fees, profits are shared with our content creators. It's a labor of love. It's a volunteer. It's a hobby. So anything you give or purchase will go to them. It'll be much appreciated because we're band nerds, but band nerds have to eat too. And band nerds have to pay rent and buy nice shoes. So we'd really appreciate it. Thanks for all your support. Now for the Louisville Regional. Now last year, it took place on September 16th, which I would believe is a week earlier. So this year, it's taking place a week later. It is still supposed to be at L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium in Louisville, Kentucky. Now, if you've been following the weather, there's a big tropical storm, hurricane, hitting Florida as we record right now on Thursday. And it's going to make its way up. And it will hit Kentucky. I should know, my significant other is from Kentucky. So we know what goes on in the bourbon state, the bluegrass state, if you're under 21. My understanding from people I have communicated with is that this contest, as of today, Thursday afternoon, is still supposed to go on as planned on Saturday. I had been told that there was a contingency plan considered to possibly make this a standstill competition at the Yum Center, which is, I'm assuming, their arena, their basketball arena / concert hall in downtown Louisville next to, I'm assuming, a bourbon distillery. My understanding is that is not an option. That is not something they're going to go with. They are going to have the regional, and they're hoping worst case scenario is there's no finals. That there's the way the schedule works based on weather, there'll probably be some delays throughout the day, but right now they are planning to have it rain and all. So I imagine if you're a heavy prop band, a heavy electronics band, you may think twice about not only performing your show on Saturday in the rain, you may think twice about actually attending this regional, especially if you are not from the state of Kentucky. If you've got to board buses and cross the border from other states, you may decide to stay home. So these predictions may be completely moot, not only because they won't have finals possibly, but some of these bands may just decide not to show up. So this will definitely be a game time decision. I would expect the results from this contest to be very skewed because of what's probably going to hit them with the hurricane. But having said all of that, we're going to proceed with this segment as if everything's going to be peachy keen, hunky-dory, and all the bands that signed up will show up and play, and they'll have prelims and finals. But if you're a betting person, don't bet on it. All right, so in this regional, 7 finalists are returning. That leaves 5 open spots. Carmel High School, defending champion, will be returning. Castle High School, who placed 3rd, will be returning. Center Grove will return. Floyd Central returns. Franklin Central returns. Decatur Central, that's a lot of centrals. And Hamilton Southeastern will be returning. So those are your returning finalists. Carmel High School did sweep all captions and finals. Again, we'll see how it all works out. If all these bands show up, great, fantastic. If they don't, you may have more than 5 finalist spots. I don't know my Midwest geography, but I just named 7 schools, all from the state of Indiana. I don't know how close they are in Indiana to Louisville, but do you think they come down? Let me know in the comment section down below, because this will be released on Friday, so you'll have a good at least 24 hours to let me know. And if you're in one of these bands, let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you're thinking. Now, prelims results. Last year, they had 1 band in Class A. Finneytown High School, swept all captions, will not be returning this year. In Class AA, Campbell County won and took the music caption. They are not returning. Decatur Central took 2nd, as well as visual performance and general effect. They are returning. And in 3rd, Anderson County High School. They are not returning this year. In Class AAA, Castle High School, they took 1st as well as all captions. They are returning. Lakota East took 2nd. They are not returning. And placing 3rd was Floyd Central High School, who are indeed returning. And then we get to Class 4A, where Carmel High School took 1st, took the music caption and general effects caption. They are slated to return. Avon from Avon, Indiana, took 2nd, as well as the visual caption. They are not returning. And Center Grove High School, who placed 3rd, will be returning this year. Now, assuming there's a finals, or even if there's not a finals, assuming all of these groups show up, because now there are other groups that I not list that are competing or supposed to compete. All right, so if all these groups show up, this is my caveat, this is how I think it's going to come. I think the top 3 will be some version of Carmel, more than likely at the top, O'Fallon, and Castle. Does O'Fallon show up? Does Carmel and Castle show up? Remains to be seen. I would say I wouldn't bet on some of these groups making the drive, but it's just rain, right? It's just rain. But if you have been around competitive high school marching band for the last 20 years, electronics, mallets, woodwinds, props, it's wet, our tempos are crazy. Keep your eyes peeled on the Louisville Regional to see exactly what ends up happening, who goes, and how it all turns out. We now turn our attention to the great state of Texas for the Shenandoah Regional, which is kind of calling it the North Houston Regional, which takes place in Shenandoah, Texas at Wood Forest Bank Stadium. This took place on September 30th, so about the same time as last year, this year. Hopefully it's not nearly as hot as it was last year. In fact, I was judging this contest. Last year, I was on Music Individual in prelims and then Music Effect in finals. And we were wearing shorts and ball caps, and we started at the crack of dawn. But once that sun got on top of the stadium. It was a beatdown of epic proportions. So poor kids wearing uniforms. Some of them didn't. Some of them wore halvesies. Some of them wore all kinds of stuff. But hey, good luck to you. I hope the weather is really good. Right now, it's great in Texas. It feels like fall-ish, autumn. Are we in false fall? Are we in real fall? Remains to be seen. Now, this is a contest where the majority of finalists from last year are returning. Of the 12, 10 are returning. So it's just easier to tell you who's not returning. Cypress Woods is not returning. Seven Lakes is not returning. The finals, the captions were won all by Cy-Fair High School in College Park. Your champion, Cy-Fair, is returning. So that will be interesting to see how it all comes together, especially with some of the groups that are coming to this regional that didn't last year. Now, in prelims results, there was no Class A and there were no Class AA groups. In Class AAA, Clearbrook took first, tied for the visual performance caption, and took first in general effect. Friendswood took second, as well as music performance. Foster took third. Stephen F. Austin tied Clearbrook for visual performance. So they won a caption, was not top three in AAA and prelims. When we get to quadruple A, 4A, Cy-Fair took first, all captions. Klein Oak took second, and Dawson took third in Class 4A. Now, if we go over the results from last year, in finals, it was Cy-Fair, Clearbrook, Klein Oak, Friendswood, College Park, Dawson, Wiley East. We jump all the way to 10, 11, 12, Stephen F. Austin, Foster, and Oak Ridge were your final three in that list. There are some other groups that are coming in, and it should be an exciting time because a lot has changed. A lot can change in a year. For example, Dawson High School is playing at Midwest, and they won Honor Band. So this is something that could be a really, really good thing for how their program is going, or it could be a distraction of sorts. So some people may say this is going to be really good for their momentum. Some might say their eyes and their ears are on another prize. Not sure, not certain. But when it comes down to the top six, I think the top six are going to be these three groups. In some way, shape, or form, the Woodlands High School, I think they'll probably win. Cy-Fair High School, Dawson High School, Friendswood High School, and College Park. I know I just gave you five. I think that's your top five in some order. I think that's what we're going to look at. Which will be interesting because it is a Conroe ISD stadium, which is the home, the school district of the Woodlands, Oak Ridge, College Park. So it'll be interesting to see. It will be very interesting to see. I think the Woodlands probably take it. Cy-Fair, Dawson, Friendswood, and College Park. That's your top five. Somebody else is going to be in the top six. Not sure who it is. Didn't want to make that prediction, but will still be an interesting contest to see how it all goes. Some of these bands haven't competed yet, and then we get to see how it all comes together in the first of two Houston area band contests for Bands of America. First of two Bands of America regionals. And before we get to the newest regional in the great state of Texas, if you are interested in reading a little bit more about the nerdy band stuff that we write about, band meaning drum corps, winter guard, marching band, etc., please subscribe to our Substack. That's how we started off with the written word, opinions, editorials, articles, rankings, reviews, previews, all that kind of stuff. If you subscribe to it, you'll also be alerted when a new video comes out. So it's kind of like subscribing to find out all of the things, but still subscribe to the YouTube channel and the Substack. We would really appreciate that. But if you're more into the cooler, hipper, younger social media stuff, we do have an Instagram page. I don't run it. The hipper, younger, cooler kids of General Effect Media will run it. Go give us a subscribe. Go give us a follow. We will have stories. We'll have reels. We'll have posts. We'll have all those things. And you'll find out about the latest news and maybe appearances and events and shows coming down the pipeline. I promise you, we've got some stuff lined up. You'll definitely want to follow so you can find it out as soon as we release the news to you. And now we conclude with the fifth regional of the weekend, the first one to take place at Bobcat Stadium in San Marcos, Texas. Eat 'em up, Cats. Now, this is the second Austin regional, Austin area regional. I think even though it's San Marcos, which is not Austin, it is not really a suburb of Austin. Kyle, Buda, yeah, suburbs of Austin. San Marcos, it's like its own city, okay? But I think that they're equating the Round Rock / North Austin Regional and the San Marcos Regional. That's like the two Austin regionals. Just like Shenandoah and Katy or Webster will be the Houston area regionals. And then you have the Prosper and whoever the other Dallas area regional is. So you basically have 2 Dallas areas, 2 Houston areas, 2 Austin area regionals. And this is, look, we have enough bands to do it. So that's great. Good for band contests. All right, so Bobcat Stadium. There were no finalists last year because there was no show. So this is going to be a completely brand new contest. There's no defending champion. There's nothing for me to go back and go, I think this is how I'm going to go. But unlike any other show that may very well take place up until now, if not later on, I'm going to predict 10 of the 12 finalists. Why 10 of the 12? Because there are a lot of potential first-time finalists that I haven't seen. There are some new schools that are competing. And by new schools, I literally mean it's their first year or second year. So I'm not sure how this could all turn out, but I'm going to give you my top 12, and I'm actually going to give you who I think my top 3 will be, if not top 2. For sure top 2, maybe top 3. And I guarantee you, it's a surprise. It'll be a surprise. I mean, not like I'm not going to tell you. It will be kind of shocking. If we go in reverse performance order, so these are just, actually, I'm going to start from the bottom. We'll go reverse performance order. So the last group to perform, I'm going to go that way. All right. These are my top 10. Here we go. In no particular order. These are 10 of the 12 finalists. Robert E. Hendrickson, McNeil, Claudia Taylor Johnson, James Bowie, Liberty Hill, Piper High School, Louis D. Brandeis, or Lewis, A&M Consolidated. I know you're saying that's 8. That's 8. You're right, because I think your top 2 bands will come down to Dripping Springs High School and Mo and Jean Johnson High School. That's right. I think a Johnson High School wins this regional. Mo and Jean Johnson. Joni Perez of the Woodlands is there. They have been on the come up, being a Grand National semifinalist, making finals at regionals and shows, and doing some amazing things in the few years that this school has been open. I think they are destined to be the first Central Texas regional champion. Dripping Springs, I think, will be right there in the mix of it. And, you know, honestly, I think that 3rd place spot could come down to Hendrickson High School, Claudia Taylor Johnson High School, and McNeil High School. That one's the wild card. That's my wild card for you folks. McNeil High School could be 3rd place. I know, you might go, wait a minute, you didn't pick this group or that group. Yeah, I know, that's 5 groups. I think James Bowie may fill out the top 6 on that kind of thing, but forced to make a selection, Mo and Jean Johnson, Dripping Springs, that's the battle for the top 2. It'll be fun. It's in Bobcat Stadium, San Marcos, Texas. First time regional, first time regional champ. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. 5 regionals taking place this weekend. Is this the busiest weekend of the year? Well, if we look at the schedule, and I'm going to have to take my glasses off. Why? Because I'm old. And unlike some old people, I have to take them off to look up close, right? So we have our 5 regionals. On the 5th, which is next weekend, we have Bedford, we have Chattanooga, we have Flagstaff, we have Memphis, we have Webster, which is the other Houston area regional. So another weekend of 5. We look ahead, we have Alabama on the 12th, Conway, South Carolina, Moscow, Idaho, Prosper, Texas. That's 4. All right, so 5, 5, 4. Then we go ahead till the 18th, 19th. We have the Indy Super Regional, Johnson City, Tennessee, Newark, Delaware, Waco, Texas. 4, 5, 5, 4, 4. The 25th, 26th, we have the St. Louis Super Regional, Orlando, Florida. Wow. Piscataway, New Jersey. We're in Jersey. All right. That's 3. Oh, it's a slow news week. Why? Because there's a lot of competitions in Texas going on, so I imagine that's why. Then we get to November 2nd, and you have Etiwanda, California, the only show taking place on that day. November 8th, 9th, San Antonio, Texas, St. George, Utah, and then we close it all up the 14th through the 16th with Grand Nationals taking place at Lucas Oil Stadium, Indianapolis, Indiana. All right, so those are our thoughts. That's our preview. Those are our predictions for how we think scores potentially or rankings or finishes will come out this weekend in band. As always, let us know in the comment section down below what you think about these contests. And if you're kind of curious about, well, I don't know if I should comment about this, look, talk about your band. Talk about what I missed. Talk about what you liked about what I said. The Kiski area people let me have it last year because I didn't predict them. And they you know what they did? That not only did they tell me I was sleeping on them, then they went out and proved it and showed me. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below of our thoughts, of our predictions, of the hurricane, all that kind of stuff. And then come back on Sunday/Monday for the recap, where we, recap the events of this weekend. We go through the recap and we talk about the sub-captions, we talk about the captions, we talk about the results, and I either celebrate triumphantly for being right in my thoughts and predictions, or you get to watch me eat humble pie as I did not pick your group or completely picked the wrong group or any of that. So please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let us know what you think about all this. Make sure you come back on Sunday for the recap, where we discuss everything that happened this weekend in band.